Hello there, everybody. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you the science behind why chasing your goals doesn't work in the field of manifestation. This is a powerful one, and it's actually a training that I was sharing with clients, and I felt that it was something that I wanted more people to have access to. Why keep it to ourselves? So, what you'll be hearing is a recent training that I shared with clients. So, if you don't know me, by the way, my name's Louise Wilson, and for the past 15 years, I've been showing my clients how to work with their soul, their ancestors, their energy, and the quantum realms to create the business and life they dream of. Alrighty, then. I hope you enjoy this training. And at the end, if you can share your comments, your biggest aha, your takeaway, and any questions. I always love hearing from you and love to respond. Alrighty, enjoy. We're going to do a little bit of quantum physics, quantum mechanics. I do talk about this in the call, but science is actually finally confirming what ancient traditional texts and indigenous cultures have been saying for thousands of years, that there is this field of energy, field of infinite potential, and that we are in relationship with this field. And that this field, that there's no separation, we're very much connected to it. David Bohm, who was a quantum physicist and peer of Einstein, he talked about this field of energy being a hollow field and a field of infinite potential where all possibilities or probabilities for your life exist in potential. And that what you're currently experiencing right now in your 3D reality is just one version of reality that you've unfolded from the field. And how do you unfold it? Well, we're in relationship with the field. Whatever science has also proven that there is a communication, unconscious, subconscious communication that's taking place between you and the quantum field. And that subconscious, unconscious communication is what the signal you're sending, and that's what's being returned back to you. So if you found yourself working towards goals, you're doing all the doing, you're doing all the right things, but it's not happening, it's because there are these unconscious programs that are communicating with the field. And there was an experiment done by a Russian quantum biologist, Vladimir Poponin, and he was really curious about the relationship between human DNA, us, and the quantum field. And in his experiment, what he did was he put the quantum stuff our world is made of, photons, into a test tube. And this was in a laboratory controlled environment. This was in the 90s that this took place. So, okay, so you've got a test tube and it's got quanta, photons of light, particles in the test tube. Now, they organized themselves randomly, which was expected. However, once he introduced human DNA into the test tube, the photons of light, the particles, what they did was they organized themselves to mirror the structure of the human DNA. They mirrored it. And what the scientists concluded was that human DNA, we have an effect on the quantum stuff our world is made of. So we're in relationship. The field simply mirrors back what is inside of us. Now, this gets really interesting. Bohm talked about a holofield. Now, if you think about a hologram, when you break the hologram up, the tiniest piece will have the visual of the whole inside of it. So if you imagine, again, going back to this relationship between us, we're tiny in comparison to the quantum field, to infinite potential, but that there's a whole or a hologram that we're reflecting, or is a part, we're a part of the field is a part of us, but there's a mirror reflection taking place. Now, in our call on Tuesday, I really was diving into this whole notion of the hologram. If you imagine that we're in this hollow field, that we have this, I'd love for you to just embrace the idea of being a hologram of the field and knowing that you actually have the power to change your hologram, to change the visual, the whatever it is inside of you that you want, to change that so that the field can just reflect it back to you. So we're talking about your 2026 goals right now. I want you to see them as not something that you're working towards, but as something embedded within you. It's the hologram inside of you. And the journey that I shared with you on Tuesday was a journey to support you to begin to imprint this new hologram into your cells, your DNA, your nervous system, so that you can start sending the signal to the field of what you really want. Send a signal of the hologram, the life, the reality that you really, really want to experience. Now it gets interesting because Max Planck, who was also a quantum physicist, and I forget the timing, I talk about that like he's no longer with us, but he was considered the father of quantum theory. Now, what Max Planck said was that we actually have the power through our consciousness to change reality, to change matter. So coming back to this hologram, the more we focus on what we want, the more we focus our consciousness on what we want, we can create that. Because by focusing our consciousness, we can shape reality. So I hope you're still following me on this. It's complex and it's complicated, but I think the most powerful thing, if you can take away from this live, from Tuesday's coaching call, is that I want you to see your 2026 goals as something within you. And that in our 8 weeks together, you're going to continue to imprint this vision as your sacred hologram for your life, but it's no longer something you're working towards, it's something inside of you. Because we know that the power inside of us communicates with the field and the field reflects that back to us. So it's bringing that vision, 2026 vision, I'm calling it a hologram, seeing it no longer as something you're working towards, but seeing it as something inside of you that's embedded within you, within your cells, within your DNA, within your nervous system. And so the journeys that I shared with you on Tuesday, the goal of the first soul journey was for you to see that hologram for your future, to see it inside of you, to realize that this is a vision inside of you that you're nurturing, that you want your cells, your nervous system, your body to hold it, and that you want to nurture that hologram, that vision within you, because you know the more you nurture it, the more you imprint it on your DNA, on your cells, that's the signal that the field is picking up on. And that is the signal that the field will return back to you. And so every single night, as you journey into the quantum realms, you are now amplifying your access to that frequency. So it's inside of you. Now you're playing in the field of infinite potential. You're in the field and you are merging very intentionally, because that's what this soul journey, the intention of this soul journey was, to support you to play in that field, to merge with that frequency, to embody it for 6 to 8 to 10 hours a night. Imagine what becomes possible for you as you do that, as you allow those frequencies to fill your being, and knowing that before you go to sleep, you are embodying those frequencies, you are intentionally going into the field to merge with that timeline. And that's the purpose of that soul journey. Now, at the beginning of that soul journey, what I love about it is that we called your ancestors in. So it was very grounded and you rooting and connecting to your ancestors, but also connecting to source energy. And your ancestors placed a cloak around you that would support you in journeying into the quantum field to merge with that higher timeline that you're calling in. It was a very powerful journey. And this is your cloak that of it's your sacred cloak of energy that supports you, that guides you, that helps you merge with that higher timeline. And it's also that protection, because I know sometimes people can feel a little bit afraid. There's nothing to be afraid of. We all dream every single night, but know that you have this wonderful cloak of gorgeous high frequency energy of your ancestors that are taking care of you and they're helping you to connect with that higher timeline. Now, what I've noticed from doing this journey is that the very first night that I did it, I remembered my dreams. Like, I found that of late I've not really been remembering my dreams, and boom, they were so clear to me. That's the power of this journey. And that is the power that when you wake up, you'll now get to download the ideas, the blueprints, the action steps that your higher timeline is telling you, okay, this is what you need to do now to make this vision, this hologram happen. I've heard from other people have reached out to me that have been listening to it. I know we're only a couple of nights in, but they're like, I listened to it for the first night and I remembered my dreams too. So it's incredibly powerful. And I really want to encourage you to listen to it nightly. In the live session, I talked about cultivating positive quantum daily and nightly habits. This container is only as powerful as the intentions that you have and the action that you take. These are powerful processes. Really want to encourage you, listen to this soul journey before you go to sleep. And then when you wake up, there's also a soul journey to support you to remember and download action steps. Now, between now and our next live call, I want to encourage you to have your journal and start to journal the dreams that you're having. And if you're not remembering your dreams, journal how you feel. Journal any shifts and changes that you're noticing. Maybe you feel more confident. Maybe you feel a bit more nervous. And know that if you're feeling anxious or nervous, that is a signpost telling you growth is this way. And I'm feeling the rub of resistance because there's a part of me is afraid. And that's a good thing, because love on your rub of resistance. When you feel a rub, when you feel like, oh my gosh, you're pulling back or you're overwhelmed, whatever it is, procrastination, that is a good thing, because it's telling you there's something for you to look at, there's something for you to heal. And and a big leap is just around the corner. Now, any rub that's coming up, again, journal it. Journal how you feel. And then bring that rub to our next call, because we can do the work to go deeper to support you to clear it. Alrighty, that's it, folks. I'd love for you to drop your comments, any comments that you have below this video with regard to the video, the concepts, the ideas, anything you're struggling with. Feel free, let's have a conversation about it. But I think the biggest thing I'd love for you to take away from all of this is to know that your vision isn't something that you're working towards. Your vision, I like to use the word hologram because it's a small part of the bigger whole, is something inside of you. It's not something you work towards, it's something inside of you that you are nurturing, that you are imprinting this new reality on your nervous system, and your body, without your conscious awareness, is going to be communicating that to the field. So this is about embodiment. It's about embodying your wonderful vision for 2026. And the more you embody it, the more the field can pick up on that embodiment and the communication, because that's how it communicates with you, through that embodiment, through your cells, through your DNA. Now, if there's a part of you that's saying, oh, wait a minute, Louise, I can't change my DNA. Well, you actually can change the structure of your cells. Your ancestors, when they experienced events in their lives that were less than positive, they made an epigenetic, genetic change. Epigenetic is above the gene. They, in a response to that environment, if they were living in a war-torn environment, maybe they developed a sense of hypervigilance, and then that was passed, it's been passed through the line through epigenetic mechanisms to ensure your survival. I had this where as a kid, I was always hyper vigilant, like afraid that the house is going to burn down or lock it up. I developed OCD around that. And it didn't make any sense until I did the ancestral work and clearing and understood that that hypervigilance was coming from my Scottish ancestry that lived on the borders of Scotland. We were raiding the English were raiding us. And so my ancestors had given me that skill set of hypervigilance, but it didn't serve me in this lifetime. It just made me very anxious and really slowed me down. And we can only ever heal the things we can see. So I was able to clear it. And really where I'm going with this is you're not stuck with that old epigenetic imprint. You, in the same way your ancestors created them, you can create new, more empowered beliefs and embed them in your cells, in your DNA, in your nervous system. This is the powerful work we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing in the nighttime hours, which is very powerful because sleep, subconscious opens, and it can receive the information, the new vision for your life that you quietly feed it. So in addition to working with the quantum realms, this is a very, very, very powerful time to reprogram and rewire your brain and your nervous system, your subconscious mind. Alrighty, folks, this was a long one. Maybe listen to this. It's a bit late to tell you this, but listen to this while you're doing stuff, whatever it is. Just let it wash over you, wash through you. Most important thing, see your vision as an inner hologram that we're imprinting on your nervous system, your cells, your DNA every single night, because that hologram, that's what you're communicating to the field. Alrighty. Sending so much love to you across the ethers, across the miles. Journal your dreams. Bring that to Tuesday's call next week. Any rub of resistance you're experiencing, and I shall see you on our next call next week. Mwah. Ciao for now. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'd love to hear your biggest ahas and takeaways. Just drop them in the comments below. And if you want to find out more about me, what I do, you can head on over to my website at www.louise-wilson.com, or you can find me on Instagram at The Infinite Entrepreneur. Alrighty then. Bye for now.